Alright guys, so today we made 110K. You see the fees are just taken out just a tad bit. But yeah, as you can also see, we have the GoPro, which is pretty cool. So now we're gonna have POV trading, and just overall, like, it's gonna be nice. As you can see, it's gonna be nice. I'm gonna start vlogging my entries and my exits and all that on my POV, and then also talking through you on my vlogging camera. And then as well, I had copped a drone. It's not a good drone, so I gotta go back and go get another one. They didn't have the DJI, so I had to get a whole new drone. But yeah, POV trading, and then, you know, just to make it a little bit more interesting, let me know if you guys would like this. And as well, make sure you guys are following me on Trades by Sai. This is my only account, my main account, and then we have only payouts, right? And both of them are in each other's bio, right? So you just, if only payouts is not in here and it doesn't take you to here, it's probably a fake account. And it needs to be tagging, so boom, you'll see Trades by Sai tag. So only payouts has the actual Trades by Sai page, and then Trades by Sai has the only payouts verified page. So with that being said, just make sure you guys go follow me on there. Alright, and once again, I don't have a mentorship or anything, but I put a lot of gems inside of Telegram, over 33,000 subscribers. And then I also have a lot of information on YouTube, which you're watching me on right now. So Trades by Sai on YouTube, and you can watch pretty much everything that I do on here. I do mostly explaining. I don't call out trades or anything. I do more explaining so you can feed yourself, right? So you can fish for yourself and make your own money, because you want to be your own boss. And once again, go check out this podcast. It is really, really, really good. It is tips for beginners that anybody should know, but I would definitely check this this podcast out, because it is really good. And then this is the course. So you see where it says best simple price action trading course. You're going to click this, and then all my videos to teach you is right here, right? And I'm still making them as we go. We're back to the daily vlogs. I just been, you know, upping my craft on my vlogs and just getting it way, way, way better. So with that being said, I love you guys, and let's get into the video. All right, chat. Welcome to another vlog. As you can see, the GoPro is on my chest. Oh, you already knew that, bro. But yeah, today was a good day. Today was a decent day. A few things, because a lot of people do ask. I'm gonna just kind of sit down and talk to you about it. The reason why, so the biggest thing for me is I've been trading for so long, so everything feels kind of like I already know. I'm not saying that I'm always 100% right, but when you've been trading for so long, you kind of already expect something to happen. So a lot of people was asking me in the Telegram, like, oh, you took the trade before London session, or like an hour before. Like, I want you to understand that I've been trading. Okay, that was the GoPro. I've been trading for so long, so being in that trade, it was more of like a risk for me, but I already kind of seen where price was heading, because the 15-minute time frame was already giving so much rejection to the upside that I was letting price tell me like, hey, it's rejecting. It's not trying to go above that level. I was willing to take that risk because price is showing me it's rejecting to the upside multiple times. So that's the reason why I make certain decisions whenever I do, because I let price tell me just overall what it wants to do. Like, okay, price is looking to, you know, sell under this level. It's rejecting. That means it's not trying to go up. So if it's not trying to go up, where's it trying to go? Price only goes either up or down. And if it's not going up or down, it's going sideways. But that's the risk you take in trading, right? So excuse the mess a little bit. I have my new lens over there. I have a new camera. I've been picking up a lot of cool things just to upgrade the content for you guys and make it more interesting, and then more of like, you know, my style, you know, because I like looking back at some of the videos and just overall looking at like, okay, dang, okay, I look good. But I hope you guys are having a great day. Not to waste any of your time. Today I'll just break down the trade once again. I'll also show my before and after. So I'll show the trade when I got in it and my after. But yeah, price is currently sold down on gold to the level that I wanted it to, but I had got out earlier. I was in the trade for like 30 minutes. And for me, I wouldn't say I'm a scalper. I don't scalp. If the move happens and it happens to be short, I will take it. I think somebody in the Telegram today was more like, I think they had $100 account and they took the same trade. Shout out to everybody that's been learning too. I see you guys. You tag me in the stories on Instagram, you tag me on Telegram, you tag me on Discord. I see you guys as trades. I see you guys are getting better. So shout out to you guys. I see that ICC is really working for a lot of people. Like, y'all don't even know. Like, when I say a lot, I'm not talking about like 10 people. I'm talking about thousands of DMs, thousands of people telling me every day, showing me their trades and stuff. So shout out to you guys. But I seen this guy today, he tagged me and he was like, shit, he closed his trade and he had like $100 account and he was up $300. Close your trade. I need you guys to get into a habit of like, when you're first building, I need you guys to like, if it gives you that good momentum, and you're gonna know, like, don't play dumb. Like, you know what good momentum is, like a good push or like just a good push in the move. And it's like you're up a couple pips, not even couple, like 20, 30 pips, even 40, 50, close, bro. Take that trade and wait for the next setup. Stack your money, right? But with that being said as well, I also did something too as well. So when I say this, I'm going to vlog my challenge. And the only reason I'm going to vlog my challenge is because I don't like calling out trades. I don't. First of all, when I used to call out trades, I'm super transparent. I used to call out trades all the time back then. And it was like, how do I put it? Like, whenever I didn't call out trades, people would sweat me and be like, yo, bro, where's the next trade? Where's the signal? Where's the signal? Where's the signal? Or like, even if I take a loss, it'll be like, oh, bro, I already knew it was gonna do this or that. You're such a bad trade. It just was a bunch. It was a lot. So I stopped calling trades a long time ago, and I'll just rather put out videos of before and after so you still know that I'm getting into the trades. Because I don't want people to think that I'm just not trading, because, I mean, the real ones know I trade. I've actually been trading. I show you before, after, show you withdrawals. I show you everything you need to see. So with that being said, I'm going to start another challenge. It's going to be a series on the side. Let's see. Boom. Here's my account. So I'm going to start an account. Matter of fact, I might withdraw because I think it's, oh yeah, it's like $2,000 in here. It's like $2,000 in here. I'm going to probably start at like, I really just want to start at where I'm at. So 2.4, and we're just going to trade this for the rest of the year too, on the side as well. So I'll probably just hook it up to a copy trader and hook it up to my main account or something. Who knows? But I'm going to start with this 2,000 and I'm going to just grow it for the rest of the year. I'm going to take like some good trades and we're going to see how far I can get with just straight ICC, because you know that's what I trade. But I'm going to just basically show you guys how ICC can just overall compound and how what it would look like in the next 6 months. I'm starting with this 2,000. It's not going to be my main account, of course, but I'm gonna trade it on the side, and I'm gonna vlog it, of course. But 6 months from now, I'm gonna show you what it looks like to be fully locked in. So like I preach all the time, I don't like when I used to say $500 is a good start. 500 is a good start, but that's not even how I started. Like, I was putting my 500 and I was blowing my 500, you know? So like, I tell people now, what I did was I was blowing my 500 and then eventually I was like, wait a minute, this is not gonna work. This is not working at all. So let me change what I'm doing. So I learned on the side, and then I put money to the side. And once I felt like I learned enough and I felt like I was at a good standing, I was like, okay, bet, I'm ready. I had 3,000 saved up. I put that all into the main account, my main trading account, and I was trading penny stocks at this time. And then I grew it from there. 3K went to 5K, 5K went to 10, 10 went to 20K. And then my 20K trades was getting to 30, 40. So yeah, it was good. It was good overall because I felt like I needed that that moment to like really learn, because you can't really like learn and try to trade and go to work at the same time. And I was working 2 jobs. So every single one of those take one of your energy. It takes energy to sit down and watch a video and learn. It takes energy to sit down and trade. And it takes like having mental strength to sit down and trade and deal with all your other real world problems, dealing with family at home, dealing with friends, or dealing with anything, dealing with work. Some people work 3 jobs, some people work 2 jobs, some people work 1 job. That's okay if you work 1 job. I'm a firm believer if you can just work 2 jobs and just like hustle. Because you got to think about it. I wish I could start over. Nah, I wouldn't wish that, but I wish I could show you how to do it. Maybe I could probably make something like that happen. Like just go to like, I don't know, maybe. I don't know what I'm thinking about. Maybe cause like I'm pretty sure there's a way I can pay like a company to like let me work there, and I build up from like $0. And just to show you, but I think this is a good way too. Anybody, we're starting with $2,000, 2.4. Save up. For my third world country people, it's whatever the equivalent. I don't know how like money works out there, but I mean, I'm pretty sure if I lived out there, there's a way, because there are rich people out there in the third world countries, second world countries, or what they would classify. Because my fault, somebody said on one of the comments the other day that Africa is not a third world country. And you know, that third world term is very vague. So countries that their currency, you know, isn't much. That's what I basically mean. If you're in a country where your currency doesn't hold as much value, then it's just overall trying to find, because I'm pretty sure there's wealthy people in that country as well, and you gotta really just like see how you can kind of mimic what they do, even if it comes down to building a business, bro, or like building some type of freelance. But most of the time you can just freelance. Honestly, if you're in a third world country, you can really freelance and make a lot of money, to be honest. Get off your ass and go learn a skill. Real shit. Trading is a risky skill. It's like trying to become an NFL player or an NBA player. So just remember that. It's achievable, of course. Trading is more achievable than you know, becoming a famous rapper or a celebrity or something. But what I would say is learn a skill where like you can like just learn it with no risk. There's no risk at the end of it, right? But for third world countries, I would definitely say like do freelancing or do like some type of work for people who need it, like, you know. But with that being said, yeah, I hope you guys are having a great day. Just kind of wanted to spread that news that I was going to start this account with 2K. Obviously, I'm going to be vlogging it. I'm trading on Liquid as well. So if you want to use Liquid, you don't have to if you don't want to. They're regulated by ASIC, so that's in Australia. And if you want to use them, you can use them. I use them. I use Liquid Charts Pro, and then I also use Liquid on MT5 as well. But yeah, let's get into the breakdown. All right, so as you guys can see here, this 1 hour time frame has this support level that price was holding up. Then price ended up breaking that support level. And if we go to the 5 or 15 minute time frame, we can see that price now has a resistance at that level. Price is not going any higher than this, and sellers take full control under this gray area. So I'll be selling gold under this gray area and waiting for that London session volume to push price down. Currently, we are 1 hour out, so I'll keep you guys updated. All right, so as you can see, a few minutes later, we ended up getting some more bearish momentum coming back under that level, and price is now selling. Overall, I think I'm gonna just hold this for the time being, see if we can get to this level and this level. But price is bearish under that gray area, as you can already see. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Keep it simple. All right, guys, so basically, this is gonna be my second time recording it, but I'm okay with that. Yesterday, we was under this level, so we shot under this level. If you remember my video from yesterday, just go back and watch yesterday's video and you'll see what I'm talking about. We had got that break under this level. The reason why we chose this level is because we can see that there are buyers at these levels. So we can see here, there is buyers here. We can see that there are buyers here. And we can see there are buyers here. And then we can see buyers here. And the reason why we know buyers are here is because we can visually see that when price gets to this level, it buys up at an abrupt manner. It gets to this level and shoots up from this level super fast, depending on what's going on, or change of direction in a fast way. So we know that there's a strong level of buyers, and that's what we want to get when it comes to trading the higher time frames. We want price to give us a level where it's really strong. And if price breaks under this level, we know that, you know, this level is now broken and we can utilize it. Let me put on my headphones for you guys. Sometimes it's a little bit echoey. Yep. Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. Yep, here we go. All right, so basically what we overall want to do when it comes to trading, just based off the structure alone, 1 hour time frame, 4 hour time frame, 1 hour time frame. I explained this yesterday. When we get that indication, I want you guys to remember indications come from breaking, swing low, and highs. Either one, or either or. So let me type it. Highs, swing lows, or highs. Boom. Indications come from breaking swing lows or swing highs. The initial break, right? And anything after that can be considered an indication. So if it breaks multiple times under there, those can be indications as well. But it just depends on what the scenario is and making sure price is maintaining structure. All right. So with all this being said, anything under this black line here was going to be bearish that day. So yesterday, go look, we had that 15-minute break and price shot down. And I told you guys, I was like, okay, this looks like the level that price could have buyers at. So boom, this is where the buyers are going to be. And if price shows us that, then this will be the level that you look for to target, because price is going to go and correct in the market. So what did price do? It went and correct. And its correction actually cut a little bit short because remember, under this level, if you can see here, we have buyers above. Soon as price came under this level, it had full momentum, full selling momentum. So this means sellers are in control all the way from this line all the way down to this level. And why is it only down to this level? Because we can see once it got to this level, buyers bought it up, right? Buyers tried to take back into the market. So with that being said, the only way we're gonna break these buyers, so the buyers that are sitting at this level, the only way we're gonna break these guys is if we have more selling momentum. So that if we have more volume, if we have more price action showing us price is bearish and it doesn't want to go up. So yesterday, I started to notice before London session, because I was gonna trade London session, I started to notice before London session, we had this level right here that just would not break. Like if price was going on a correction, it would just go on that correction, right? It shouldn't be a struggle to break this level, but price just did not want to break above this level. So 1 hour before New York session or London session, which is right here, around 2 o'clock, I took a position on a sell. Why did I take a position on the sell? I took a position on the sell because, for one, my entry is like right here. I can show you on TradeZilla as well. So boom, go here. And then it can show you. Oop. Scroll. Let me go 15. Boom. So you can see both my positions, one here, one here. Both my positions, and then I ended up closing here, right? So small trade. I didn't catch the whole thing this time. I honestly just got out at 3, but it's all good. Anyways, here is my position, my entry. We're going to make this green. and then we're gonna make my stop loss red. My original stop loss was here, but I was like, whoa, that is way too big. So let me just like lessen my stop loss to just above the lower high or above the high, right? Because I see that price is making lower highs. This is the reason why I also got into as well, is because this was my high initially, and then I seen price break down to the downside, and then it came back up and it rejected the first time, and then it rejected the second time, and then that third time around, I was more of like, okay, maybe I should take this trade and just let that hour go by. So either one of these candles, it doesn't matter. Either 3 or 1 of these candles, I could have took the sell off of. I choose to just wait a little bit longer, and I just kept seeing it reject and reject. So I just happened to end up on this last red candle right here. And if y'all already seen my entry previous to this analysis that I'm doing now, but as you see my entry, price is rejecting, rejecting, rejecting. I put my stop loss above this level because if it breaks above these highs, that means there are buyers in the market above this level, which I don't want to be in if I'm in sales. I can visually see that price only goes up this high, and then sellers try to push price down. Every time price gets to this level, it shoots down. Gets to this level, shoots down. Gets to this level, reaction, consolidation, sitting down, and then comes back down. Comes back up to this level, shoots down. Every time it tries to come to this level is shutting it down and saying, no, you cannot go up. So if a girl keeps telling you no, or if a guy keeps telling you no, you just got to move on. So price is trying to go up, but the zone is telling it, no, you cannot come. You cannot come. So price is going to do something different. Since it cannot go in that direction, it has to choose another direction. And the fact that it's already under a level of where sellers are already at, it's like, basically, it's like somebody who's a football fan or something, right? They're a football fan. They're normally going to go to a football game. And then the moment they try to go to, like, let's say a baseball game, they don't like it. Or, something happens where they can't go to the baseball game or something. What do you think they're going to go do? They're going to go right back to football, because that's what they are intended to do, because it's already been shown. It's already been a pattern shown that they like football and they only really want to be a fan of that. Or terrible example. But under this level, we already can see price is meant to sell under this level. But the fact that price is trying to buy is just really, price is really going against what the trend is doing, which is the correction. So we know the correction is now over because price is not letting it go up any higher, right? Price is not letting it go any further than this. And if that is the case, that means it must be looking to go down. Not always like 100%, but if price is not trying to go up in this scenario, then it's going to be looking to go down, because price has to make some type of movement. That's why there's consolidation, uptrends, downtrends. Price is going to try to make some movement. It could be consolidation, it could be uptrends, it could be downtrends. So when price starts breaking down, the only thing that we have to be aware of is volume. So this is what I was explaining on the first take that I did, but there was no visuals, so I'm just gonna redo it. London session, right? Or let me explain it this way. There's 2 types of volumes, because you really, really, really need volume, right? You need volume bad. You need it really bad. Like, without volume, just go ahead and say SL, stop loss hit, right? Without volume, stop loss hit. Just think of it that way. Without volume, SL hit, right? And if you don't have this volume, your trade is not really going to move. Now, what you can do is think of it this way. So if you think about New York session, right? Let's think about New York session for a second. if you ever turned on Sessions, Junior FX Addict, if you ever turned this on, I already have it, boom. If you ever turn this on during New York, it starts at 8 o'clock. That's when that New York volume comes in, 8 o'clock EST. I'm on EST. So with that being said, and actually the stock market opens at 4 o'clock in the morning, by the way, pre-market. But 8 o'clock is when New York session is starting. So 8 session starting. And we can be like, this is the pre-market, right? So pre-market. Or we can say pre-New York session, however you want to say it. And then we have 9:30, which is when the banks open, right? Banks open, banks are trading, Wall Street's trading. This is when the banks open. Banks open, they're trading. This is when money moves the most, right? This is when money moves the most, because if the banks are trading, they're obviously in the market, the stock market. That's kind of how the economy works, you know? So if the banks are open and the money's moving now, you're going to get the most volume out of this time. So from 9:30 a.m. EST to 4 p.m. EST, right? This is your max volume right here. And also as well, London mixes into New York as well. So that's a good thing too as well. So as you can see here, if we turn this back on, boom, London, as you can see, it comes all the way to 12 o'clock. So London mixes all the way into New York session at 12, around that 12 o'clock mark. So from 8 to 12, you get max volume from London and you get max volume from New York, right? A lot of volume. And then with gold, you obviously get that London volume. So this is London, 3 o'clock, boom, 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 volume, right? So if London session starts at 8, but the actual bell is at 9, that's like an hour and 30-minute difference. What about London? Think of it the same way. London session, 2 o'clock. Session, and then we can say pre-market. We have pre-market, and then we can have London open. This is when London banks are open, right? And both places use gold, right? That's why price moves. Now, for anybody that trades NASDAQ or US 30 or SPX, you know, you're only focused on New York session. London session can be for gold. New York can be for gold, right? So with all this being said, we have to be aware that price can move during either one of these times. And also, there's two types of volume, right? There's two types of volume. You have bank volume, so that's when the banks are open and they're trading. And then you have news volume. So this is anywhere from around NFP, CPI, PPI. You have tariffs, Trump, all types of different things, right? High impact news. We can say high impact news. News in general moves the market, but high impact news moves the market in big areas, or I guess you could say big trends in big ways, something like that. I don't know the correct way to say that for you, but news moves the market heavily, right? And I want you guys to understand, look at the times where when price is in, or this was a day that price consolidated, that's cool. Look at times where there are market volumes and price is moving with a good force of where it wants to go. We're on the 5-minute, by the way, so it kind of looks a little bit different. But so what I'm trying to get you to understand is with that volume, price is not going to make that move. So if we have here 2 o'clock, boom, and we take 2 o'clock and we do this, make it then black. Look how all that volume comes in at pre-London. All that volume kicks in pre-London, comes to that level. There's some reactions to here because obviously there are buyers, right? There are buyers sitting here. So price is going to react that way once it gets to this level because it's trying to fight. Sellers take more control than buyers. They wipe out the buyers. There are no buyers here anymore, right? So now we have more indications. There's a correction in the market, and then price still makes those lower highs. And if we're looking at this overall, like I said in my first take, if you want to go watch the first take or like hear the first take because it's just audio, you can go to the Telegram. But this would have took me out of my trade because this was breaking structure overall. This would have broke structure. So at 950, I probably would have been out of my trade. But I would have took in price from here all the way down to here, which is 7 hours and 50 minutes of work, and you made 1,945 pips, right? And you're pretty much done. You could be done for the week just off that simple move of just following what the trend is giving you. We're not predicting where price is trying to go. We're looking at what the market is showing us. We're placing our trade and we're letting the volume speak for us. We're letting all the volume speak for us. The volume is what is going to drive your price. Not because you're sweating at your charts or looking at your charts and being like, oh my God, I want it to move. Or not because you're praying and on your knees that your trade goes into the right direction. What is moving the markets is the volume. The volume is the money. You need to be trading when the money is trading. So with that being said, there will be times where the money is not there and price is moving and you're confused. But don't let price move at Asian session fool you from what the overall fundamental is, the basics, right? So with that being said, price sold today because under that level, it was bearish under that level. And we had indications and we had the market show a structure that turned bearish. The volume kicked in. Volume kicks in, price is building down at that point. Whole London session, price was going down. There was a little pullback for 930, but this would have took me out, me personally, because I would have never wanted to see anything break above that level. To be honest, I could have you could really stay in because this is only the first break, but even then, when you're in the moment, it kind of looks like price is going up. So it is what it is. I would just rather take out my trade. But with all that being said, price is sitting now at a new level of buyers, right? You see price bought up from here. You see price extremely bought up from here. And now we have price selling back down to this level. So buyers are sitting here. This doesn't mean buy, and this also doesn't mean sell. So from here, we wait. What do we wait for? Okay, I see that price sold off from this level. So that obviously means there are buyers sitting here. I mean, sellers sitting here. What caused that? That means there are buyers sitting here. So right now, we would be in my no trade zone. So from here, we will be in my no trade zone because price is in between a level where buyers are at and sellers are at. So now we wait. The same thing we did yesterday. We wait for either direction to get broken. So we put a stop loss above here. I meant not a stop loss, an alert above there, alert below here. And once again, I'm doing this all off that 5-minute time frame, which I should not be doing. So 1 hour is still going to be the same thing. So if we scale in, as you can see, it is the same thing. Why is it the same thing? Let me show you. As you can see here, let me turn this off. As you can see here, price came up to this certain level. There's obviously rejections down here. Came up to this certain level, fell from here. So there's obviously buyer or seller sitting at this level. So down to this level, there's obviously buyers sitting at this level. Buyers push up price. Price gets to this level. Sellers kick in, like we seen. So For me, I've been trading for so long, so I can see it without having to be on that smaller time frame. But if you really, if you're a beginner, you're gonna need to go to that smaller time frame so you can see what I'm talking about. You can see that once price came down to this level, buyers kicked in heavy. Strong amount of buyers sitting here. So if price breaks this, this lets you know that there's no buyers there. And when there's no buyers there, price has to go look for a new level of buyers. There always needs to be, there needs to be, or there will always be a buyer's level and a seller's level. Always. There will always be one. And if price breaks the buyer's level, so that's down here, buyers are here, then it has to go find new buyers because it cannot just roam. The market cannot just move around with no buyers in the market. There needs to be somebody exchanging the trades, because trades are exchanging. When you close out of your sales or when you close out of your buys, you're giving it to another trader or you're giving it to somebody else on the other end. On your end buys and you close out of your buys, you're giving it to somebody. You're selling it to somebody. And when you give away your sales, you're giving it to buyers, right? You're, overall giving it to somebody. So with all that being said, when buyers get wiped out, it's going to go look for the next level of buyers, and that is most likely going to be swing lows. In this case, you don't necessarily have to go all the way out for this because one, price is already going to make its own levels, right? Even though we have previous levels like this one that was really strong. So like, let's say this one over here, I'm gonna just use that one for a quick example. You see how price kind of just broke past it and just made its own level of support? It reacted to it, of course, but then price was just like, forget that, keep going. And then it got to this level and it was a strong push, right? There was still some reaction here, but if you see over here, there was a strong push at this level. Boom, price came down, strong push. But today's strong push came from a level lower. So you don't have to really go based off of what is all the way over here, but it is a good reference to have. But just remember, price is going to make its own levels as it goes down. There's the indication, correction, price continued back down. Right? So I hope all this was making sense to you. And if you want to watch the first time of me speaking about it or listen to it, because it's just the audio, you can. It's on the Telegram, link in the bio for the Telegram. But yeah, with volume is pretty much the main thing that really drives price, and why you see some of my trades where it's like price goes in one direction and it's like, bro, it's so easy because a volume kicks into the market. You're better off trading when that is, or like when New York is open or London is open. You can still get away with some things, but I would recommend everybody just try to trade as much as you can in those sessions, right? And for the people that trade Forex pairs, it's a little bit different. I don't trade Forex pairs. I trade gold and NASDAQ because these two are very volatile. I haven't been on NASDAQ like that, but I definitely trade these. So in this example, right, price got up to that level that I was talking about yesterday. We can see that price was building up, building up, building up, and then we sold off. But now my main focus, I'm not even worried about all this mess up here. I can see that price had this level where buyers were sitting, boom, buyers were sitting at this level. I can see that price is now under that level. It's the same thing on the 1 hour, right? So I could do the same thing on any time frame. Boom. So this means we're on an indication. Right now we're on an indication. I went to the 1 hour. I identified the trend, downtrend, right? I identified that as a downtrend or starting a downtrend, right? And then what part of the trend are we on? So then I'm like, we're on the indication. So once we're on the indication and I'm like, okay, we're on the indication. What do I do from here? Since I clarify this as an indication, as an indication on the 1 hour time frame. I will now go to the 15-minute time frame and wait for the correction and also right? So boom, this is all we're doing now. So now that we determined that is an indication, we would go down to a 15-minute time frame. Boom, reset my chart, go back to that 15-minute time frame. We can identify, okay, we can already see that price got to this level and it just bought all the way back up, right? But we're like, okay, we need some more data. We need some more, something else, because this is not much. We can see that's an indication. So what we're going to start to see is, or what we want to see is price start to move its way back up. But if we can't really see too much, we can just go here, 5-minute time frame. Okay, I can see that price came down to this level and it bought up from this level. I can also see that price came to this level and it tried to push down, failed to do so, sat at this level. Boom. I can also see here, it rejected again. So this lets me know that there are sellers on this 5-minute here. So price is just in between these levels. So when I don't know what to do, I just wait. So now I'm like, okay, that doesn't make sense. Let me wait. Let me get more information. Take all this off my chart, go back to 1 hour, and now I just wait. I wait to see if I can get some more type of information. I don't try to, make some crazy, analysis up out of that. I just wait for price to give me something more, like something more. I need something more than what I have, right? I know we're in a downtrend under this level. I know sellers are in control under this level. Price is an Asian session, so I'm not expecting it to do much. So now I just have to wait. I have to wait for something because it is very, very risky for me to take any type of trade right now as we speak on NASDAQ. So it does not make sense for me to risk my money when I don't have an edge over the market, where I don't know if price is going to let itself be exposed. Price is not exposing itself to what it wants to do, right? So I have to wait until it slips up and gives me some more information.
Too drunk right now. It's the